The deadbeat dad phenomenon has been with us for years. But I think one of the biggest periods of the deadbeat phenomenon's timeline is in the 1990s with the show Maury that you're seeing on the screen. And I remember watching the Maury show, and there were some questions that I always had as a kid watching this actual show in itself. One of the first things I always had questions for was, why did the audience boo when it was not the man's child? In other words, like, why did people want you to actually take care of the child? Don't believe me? Let me refresh your memory.
In the case of 3-year-old Jeremiah William, you are not.
Right there. We're going to be on the front. You'll answer the front. We're going to go to the back. And you know I know what kind of car you drive, so I'm going to stand there until you come out.
The case.
Did you hear how much the ladies are cheering in the back? That's exactly what it was. So in other words, it was like I think it's like a feminist program, secretly, because the women would come on and they would be cheering, "Whoa, girl, go ahead, hey, it's yours and you can do what you want to do." And so they would cheer for all of this. The woman would sit there and she would parade all around town. She'd show the picture of the baby behind you, and you'd see the baby, and you'd put up a picture of the man and you'd say, "Look like him," even if, the nose don't look right. Basically, even the baby got a straight nose. Oh, well, don't worry about the nose, Murray. The nose was in my family for whatever else it is. So you'd have all of this. Then comes the
2-year-old Darjavion. Tristan, you are not the father.
And she would run to the back and listen again to the boos that are in the audience. I never quite understand that. I never quite understand why that happened that way. It didn't matter, by the way. Y'all would think that this is just like a whole thing just for black people. It wasn't that, because I always thought it was that too. But then I realized that they had white people on there.
When it comes to 8-month-old Xander, Peanut, you are not.
Look at the reaction of the audience. Look at how the women in the audience looked. And I always wondered, what was this about? I always wondered what was this about. Like, why did the women look this shocked? Why were they always shocked? Why couldn't be, oh wow, well, you know what, it's not his, so let's move on to that. And you could see the numbness inside of the audience. They would laugh, but it's almost like a graveyard some of the times, because the people cheering mainly are the men, because no, the men are like, hey, you got out scotch free, and you don't have to sit in baby jail. And I call it baby jail because it's not your kid. No one wants to take care of a kid that's not their kid, well, without their own choice. If you're going to do it, you at least going to do it because, you want to do it, not because basically you're being forced to actually do it. But it would parade, no matter what the time was. This would happen all the time, and the woman would run on the back, and you'd see exactly what's going on. But you know what? Hey, why am I talking? Why am I talking?
Your baby is gorgeous. He ought to be glad that I'm letting him say my baby look like this.
Do you see how much mouth the mother would have? She'd have all this mouth, and she would cuss the man all out, and you notice the cheers inside of the audience. I wondered what that was. This is how bad the deadbeat daddy narrative was, that they would always cheer.
In the case of 1-year-old Emil, Prince, you are not.
Then comes the embarrassment. Then comes the whole racking all over the place. I'm just telling you, this was extremely wild in the 90s. I never quite understood it. I never quite understood what made it like this. Somebody once told me that, you know what? In the whim, a woman would actually make you father her kid. If you even check in even in Jamaica right now, if we even check in Jamaica, and I'm from Jamaica, if we even check in Jamaica, they actually let you know that basically if you were to flip a coin, that's the chances of it being your dad or not. that is exactly where we're coming from. You could flip a coin. In other words, it's basically 50-50, because the ladies are known for giving what we call their jacket, what you call an outside child, whatever other terminology used to give it here in the US or wherever it is that you're watching this actual thing in itself from. But I wanted to know, what was that? I wanted to ask my female audience, why would women cheer if they find out the guy's not the father? Are women this bonded together that no matter what, no matter even when the woman is wrong, they will bond together? Is there like a special bond between females to say that, you know what, never mind, I really was hoping, I was rooting for you, I was rooting for it to be, his kid? Why was there no one betting to say, well, you know what? I'm hoping that this is not his kid that he has to. I'm hoping that he gets a chance to get a break from having to father a kid that's not his. Why didn't the audience think like that? Is it because it's about the kid? And so we're saying, hey, because it's about the kid, we're gonna put the kid on anybody at all. I just wanted to know that. I just wanted to ask that question out there. Very, very sharp tonight. I just wanted to ask that question. You'd have seen this. It goes on.
When it comes to year old Jewels, Duck, you are not.
Call me.
In the case of 5 months,
man.
JR, you are not.
It never mattered. It never mattered what it was. It never mattered. It would have happened like this. And look at the audience. Look at how the ladies are surprised. If you look in the back, that was what you got each time. Now, I don't know if it was. Sometimes I wonder if it's just for entertainment. But then after learning how things are in Jamaica and learning how people keep things a secret for a very, very, very long time. In fact, one thing I know is a story I'm quite aware of is a woman who actually was supposed to come to the United States on an immigrant visa. And so the United States Embassy, basically, she had to go to the embassy in Jamaica. She went to the embassy to find out, you know what I mean? Like, she'll get her visa or stuff. And they wanted her to do a DNA test. She had to do a DNA test to check if, you know what I mean, the guy that's filing for her, which is her father, is her real father. And it comes to find out that she was not. He was not her father at all. That's where it came down to. So I wanted to know what is that? And I've realized that this, by the way, is not just like a one country. This will happen in different places because I get to understand that it actually exists here in the United States of America, where a woman will give you a kid. She will pin a kid on you if she can. You know, what is that? I want to reach out to my audience. Give me a take. I'll talk to you soon. Like, share, comment, subscribe.